Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode, we got this set up, a research reactor. That's given us rad bolts. And in the process, I needed to use a lot of steel. And notice that I'm short lime. I thought I had enough fossil. I brought 15 tons over, but in reality, that's not nearly enough. So we're getting the crew together again. We're going to go over back to the oily asteroid and get some the fossil that we probably should have done the first time round. Just before we do, though, let's make sure that we've got carbon dioxide. I didn't plan on doing another mission to the local asteroid. Yes, we do. We've got carbon dioxide, so we'll be able to get back. We should probably also check food, calorie. We're out of calories here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna hold on. Let's put some food on board. Taking out some pepper bread. That's going to be very good morale boosting food for the dupes while they're traveling. 20 kilograms worth. What does that give us? 80,000 calories. Let's take that inside the rocket, store it in this vacuum area. At a high priority. Just before we arrive, looking at the amount of fossil. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fossil that we're able to dig out, so we're going to find a good amount. We'll bring a lot of that back with us. We can increase our production of steel. With food on the rocket, I say we can go back and try to launch again. Let's see. Let's keep the rover there. We will actually go to... How shall we do this? We're going to go one tile out. And launch. Dupes are now on the rocket. We should be taking off. And heading up one tile from where we are. With the rover, we're of course going to throw a rover down. I considered sending a rover to this asteroid, but there's not a lot that rover can do since they can't actually put anything on. Oh no, hold on. I want to deploy the rover down here. They can't put anything in the rocket, which is unfortunate, but alright, so with the rover going down, these dupes can go through here. They can, a rover can also not dig through fossil, so not that useful on this particular mission. But back home, you could always use the labor. Back home, I noticed that the steam turbines are running. That means that our two hydrogen generators that we've got here are not enough. We do have lots of hydrogen in the system. I could build more, but I thought let's experiment with another power source. We've got these solar panels, these bunker doors. Let's start off with automation wire to be able to control them so we can open them if we want. Of course, making this out of steel. Nice thing about this rocket, it has orbital data collection lab. I need more data banks anyways, so as we're traveling, we're able to get something done. Back home, lots of research is going on, so just making sure we've got laboratories and all these research rooms that we have. We do. That's important because we are going for rebel propulsion, and that's going to take us a while to get there. So the dupes are here, giving them instruction to dig out all this fossil and bring that back in storage bins on the rocket. So just about to install a button here. This is going to open these doors. Now I don't have a lot of experience with bunker doors recently anyways. So... well, they're not opening. Maybe you have to power them for this to work. In which case, I'm choosing to use steel for this, so I am putting wiring through that, but I'm out. I want to put a transformer to power that. Actually, maybe even two transformers, but I want to make those transformers out of steel. Well, we're out of steel. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait. Okay, just a couple seconds later I realized, like the mechanized door, these do work without power. It just seems to be very slow. Which could be scary if I get meteorites, especially with the nuclear research reactor a little bit below this whole setup. I'm going to be keeping my eye very closely on any incoming asteroids so I can close this early. Hopefully the dupes over here aren't going to be too long finding some fossils. We can get that back home, make some steel, and power these things up so they open and close a little bit quicker. Just looking at this setup here, realizing anytime this machine is full, rad bolts are firing down here, causing a little bit of radiation blip. I'm not really sure if that's going to be an issue, but I might do something just in case. The doors are nearly fully open. I'm assuming they're not fully open because the solar panel... Oh, there we are. Maybe they're fully open now. So we are now getting additional power into our base, up to 380 per, but in reality, moment it's about 220 per solar panel. So gonna have to be watching out in space again for those asteroids that might be on the way. So here's my system I've got set up. I don't know if I need to put this through a knock gate or not, but right now we're in need of red bolts. So this is getting a false signal. Disabling this. So red bolts should be going through this. Boom, awesome. And then when this machine is full, this thing should become true. And then in that situation, red bolts are firing up. So I don't know whether we're going to get an explosion here or here. But I'd rather it here because this is just a little bit too close to the dupe that's doing the research for me. I very much desire to have this doors close automatically. So I believe I can do that with this guy here. And I really like the animation or graphic that it shows. Because I was going to build it up here, and I believe it makes sense to put it at this point, just to get more coverage of the sky. And I also like the fact that it'll actually go through buildings, so that I can see what it's going to look like, even with things moved around, or open or closed. So I'm going to put this guy right here. So I built my space scanner. Got all these doors closed. We're going to put automation wire to open them up. And currently, we've got a scan network quality of 0. So, yeah, we definitely... and we're looking for meteor showers. That is correct. Awesome. You can also look for different rockets or payloads. But it's meteor showers that we care about here. So we dug out a lot of the fossil. And I see some iron, and I'm like, I've got to have that before we go. So I'm going to dig that out, put it in the rockets, and then load everything with that iron and lots of fossil that's on the ground. So we've got 2 of these doors open. We've got a scan quality of 27. Doesn't sound pretty good. We'll see what it looks like when this final door opens up. With all the doors open, we've got a scan quality of 48. And, oh, did I even set this to automate? I don't think so. Oh, I do. Okay. So, so this is sending a false signal. Oh, this is the opposite of what I want. I want to send that through an AND gate. Oh, no, a NOT gate. So when it does detect something, it's going to be green. Meaning, if I put that through the NOT gate like this, it's going to say close. Can I put a NOT? It's an AND gate. I'm a little confused. Hold on. Why is it when I get a false and a true and an AND gate, I get... oh, it's because of this guy here. This guy's got to go. This whole thing pretty much undoes anything I put down there. So this big scanner is useless at the moment until this goes away. So almost completely done in this zone. Completely looked through here. Just the last little section is over here. This is a big vacuum area. Thanks to this little guy here. Didn't necessarily plan it that way, but can dig out these fortune plants. Get a little bit of lead too, fossil, and we'll be on our way. So here's my space scanner setup. Got that on and gate here, so I can close the doors, even if this thing thinks otherwise. We've got the current status, which means clear skies. You can open these, and the solar panels will be fine. We'll keep running that way. This guy's been happy. We've got both thermo aquatuners running now. That's keeping the top of these two guys cool. Getting tons of red bolts. I turned the switch off. Well, how much uranium, or enriched uranium, over 50 kilograms times 2. I'm just looking at the research. So we got to do 2 types of research. Well, we've done the 2 basics. But yeah, we want to continue on applied research. We're about halfway on that. Data analysis. That's going to take a little bit more time and space with databanks. Putting together a first recreation room for the dupes. Probably something I don't spend enough focus on doing, so let's make sure we get that in there now. Digging out some uranium ore from meteorites long ago. Putting in storage bins. Want to make sure these guys have a continual supply of food so we get lots of enriched uranium. Just making sure I've got that auto harvest done too. Find it funny some of the warnings that the game gives you when you've got a rocket where the dupes are wearing Atmos suits and there's plenty of food. Tell me there's oxygen issue here, bed issue. And currently the dupes are not experiencing that. Also getting crop issue over here. Of course we've got plenty of wild crops. I don't think the game's taking that into account. But anyway, randomly. Just watching the last piece. I'm using the pieces of lead in the far left corner as indication of whether everything has been scooped up. If this room is empty, which is pretty much the furthest away from anything else, I'm assuming they've collected everything that there is. So far, we've collected 62 tons of fossil. We are nearly complete the material study terminal side of the research of Red Bull propulsion. I suspect by the time the dupes arrive with fossil, this will already be done, and the rest of the research will have to be done over here once we get more data banks. So, last piece of lead and fossils now on the rocket, but we have a problem. A bit of a problem. Inside this rocket, I was storing carbon dioxide for the return home. And that was leaking out in space the whole time we got here. Yeah, so we don't have any gas to get back. I don't see any carbon dioxide geysers. Actually, let's have a look. Also see some meteorites there. Checking my... we do have a carbon dioxide geyser. Only issue is I don't know which one of these guys is a carbon dioxide geyser. So, I think the easiest solution is just to make our own. I already have the super sustainable achievements. Lots of coal here. Let's make a few of these. And just pump some carbon dioxide from these guys into our rocket. So I see an identified object. That's heading right for us. The telescope does not seem to see it. Or the scanner. Because it's sending a false signal out, saying that it does not see anything. Maybe because that scan quality is too low, kind of disappointing. But I'm going to have to click this button myself to start the process of closing these doors, so this was useless. Maybe it only detects objects one tile away, or either that or I have to get the scan quality up by making more of them. Just notice that this unidentified object is now at the atmosphere of this Asteroid. Of course, these things are closed anyways. Just curious whether it picked it up. It has not, though I'm not sure that's due to the fact that the doors are closed now. See, nuclear waste is building up in here. I've got this two-door system. This one, the first door is just manually controlled by me with this switch. This other door down here is going to be controlled by this, and temporarily have it set higher than this should go to. So the door should stay... Hold on, that means we're getting false after this goes away. So yeah, the door will stay closed. Now the dupe's just going to get you to move some material out of that. A little bit of steel. Also build a pump in here. The reason for that is I want to experiment with this nuclear waste later on. It's a little bit easier to build a pump now than once we have hot radioactive material all in this zone. If this area builds up, I'm hoping, suspecting that that's going to drain out here instead of out down like this. But we'll see about that in the future. Alright, now that we've got the floor clear, let's kick this off. So what I want to do is open up my door. And I didn't want to have this open before because I didn't want water to pool in here. I want water to disperse earlier. But water is now all steam. We don't have to worry about that. So this is filled up with nuclear waste. And I want this door to open up when this guy is overpressured, let's say above 200. This will open this door, getting the nuclear waste to jump out. This guy's going to notice a decrease in pressure. Only question is, we do lose a little bit of steam in this process. Aha. I think what I should have done, first of all, I should have blocked off. I should have only had one of these tiles exposed. Not sure if it matters which one. Fortunately, we have to do a little construction now. That's fine. Well, I say it's fine, but we'll see what the tubes think. Let's change this out for an actual tile. That might help prevent the steam from getting out. So, I've got these cool generators going. Realize I probably should have brought this pump down here. Noticing a few mistakes are happening. It's getting to the shaky point of the playthrough. But we're doing decent, but I definitely feel like a few things could have been avoided. This certainly being one. Over on this asteroid, we're filling in this tile. I kind of thought, actually, I wish I had filled in this tile as well, but I'm going to wait till this machine shuts down to do any refactoring around here. So meteor showers has officially started. I see the doors are closed. This was enough time to close them. Given the fact that I closed them, I can't necessarily say that the space scanner worked, but if I noticed it at least more than one tile out and I hit that button. Well, that's the wrong asteroid. But yeah, there it is. There. It's also kind of funny how we've got meteorites on all asteroids. I wonder if that means I could just nominate one asteroid as detecting meteorites and send that signal elsewhere. Anyway, that's a thought for the future. But at this point, if I could rely on the button, though, that means I have to pay attention, and that's not always going to work. So, more experimentation with the space spanner coming up, I'm sure. So we've been running these coal generators for a little bit. Getting a lot of non-carbon dioxide in here. Nice thing about the carbon dioxide engine, it accepts everything. Pretty much just destroys something if it's not carbon dioxide, but doesn't take any damage. At this point, this is enough to get home, even though it's not fully charged. We're going to actually land on the atmosphere, so we can send a rover down before we officially land. Let's get out of here. I was going to say... How close did we make it with food? Let's click on Explore. Should have 3 dupes in here. They've got 40,000 calories. I think I put 80,000, so we ate half of it on this mission. Tons of food to make it back. Technically, we have no carbon dioxide in here, but I'm going to cut this anyways. Yeah, the more automation you can get in the game, if you're not as good at remembering things like me, the better. So that's starting to make me think a little bit nervous about the fact that I have to run this button. But we've got more fossil on the way. And with more fossil means more steel, more automations, especially up in this area. Oh, this is my first pufflet. But yeah, definitely look for more changes here. Alright, well that's going to do for today. We've got fossil on the way. That's going to increase our steel production. This guy's still happy. We have solar panels. We've got our, I'm pretty certain research here is complete. From the material study, we need to direct our attention over here. We'll be doing that. And more things in the future. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you later on.